Okay. Let's make sure everything registers that I'm beginning. There we go. Hi everybody, Nam here, also known as Crazy Asian on Twitch, because here we are on Twitch. Alright, I'm just going to start advertising, because that's what I need to do. Please hold. Hopefully everybody is doing well. I'm almost certain nobody is here yet. Alright, let's see. Alright, here we go. Alright, Stream Elements has recognized that I am streaming. Cool. That's good. Good job, Stream Elements. You earned your your share today. Okay, and then I think I got a couple other things to send. 1 and 2. Okay, I think I'm live. I mean, I don't think. I know I am live. I had to pause myself. Let's make sure my audio's working. Yeah. Let's make sure my audio's working. Okay, cool. Awesome. Hey, welcome in, Charlie's Beats. How are you doing today? I hope you had great time traveling last night, as most of the United States got an extra hour. For anybody outside of the United States, we changed our clocks. Let's see. Let's first of all turn on tricks things. Oh, hey, welcome in, T5 Trester. Have a glorious stream. Thank you kindly. Thank you very much. Welcome in. I would assume that you know me somehow because you've used the word glorious. So you've either met me in person or work with me or met me in the past after I started using the word glorious or watch my YouTube videos in which I use the word glorious, or maybe you've seen Twitch streams and you just didn't chat. First time chatter, so welcome in. Let's see. So let me introduce myself. If you don't know who I am, my name is Nam. I am also known as Crazy Asian with 3 N's on Twitch. I like to perform sleight of hand card magic, and I have co-opted a StreamerSonglist to let people request magic tricks that they would like to see. They're pretty much all card tricks. So if you're here looking for other types of tricks, I mean, I might know how to do some of them, but I don't really do them. So I'm basically just happy to just perform with cards. But you can look at the trick list there, and you can use StreamerSonglist as though you would use it for a musician, but there's just list of tricks on it. But if you want to request something you don't know what to request, you can type in !random and it'll randomly put one into the queue. And also, while I'm here, let's see. I know it's a little early, but let's give Charlie's Beats a shout out musician. I think just started streaming again recently, so let's see. So hopefully everybody's doing well. I feel like I'm a little rusty, even though I think I had a pretty good stream last week, and I've been practicing a new trick. So I'm considering adding the new trick to the trick list. So we'll see how that goes. But I guess to let me see here. To let everybody in on a trick, I'll queue up the first trick myself, and I'm actually going to add this as a new trick to the trick list because it's one that I learned like maybe a few weeks ago. I recorded it for my YouTube, but it's actually not going to publish for another 2 or 3 weeks. So this would probably be the first chance for you guys to see it before it publishes on my YouTube. So let me like actually formally add it, and then but if anybody has requested anything else, feel free. Okay, just added it, and then I will now officially put it into the queue. All right, there we go. And then, hey, welcome in, Gibson Lens. We'll give an early shout out now, and then we'll also do another one later. But Gibson Lens, my mod, also plays piano and has a lot of originals, plays VGM, plays esoteric music, but also one of his most popular originals is called Expanse. So any musicians who want to play Expanse on stream, you can join the Expanse Club. So, all right. Okay. So my warm-up trick today is going to be a brand new trick. Never really performed in any setting besides like just like a small group of like my coworkers, my wife, that kind of thing. So this will be the first trick for today. Oh, yeah, Gibson Lens also apparently plays fleeting improvs that I can't request again. That is 100% true because if Gibson Lens, what we've done in his channel is anytime he goes to improv, we called it noodling. For like a few streams, I tried to change the noodling, but I wasn't mod over there yet. So, but now it's just permanently noodling a Gibson Lens improvisation. But some of them are like really good, and I would say many of them are very relaxing. And it's like, oh, I want to listen to that again. I think most of the time the improvisations I feel like are chill or relaxing. I don't know if we've had too many like super crazy intense like Expanse level energy improvisations. So I don't know if that's something you want to put on the docket, Bert. But that's up to you. That's up to you. No pressure. Just barometric. All right. Seven Senshi has requested a trick. All right, excellent. So we'll get to that after the opener. But welcome in, Seven Senshi. If we can get a shout out for Seven Senshi. So I do feel bad because I like Seven Senshi streams, but Seven Senshi plays flute, likes anime, plays a lot of anime music, and a bunch of things on her StreamerSonglist I enjoy. But like because of my schedule, I want to stream, and it conflicts sometimes or oftentimes with her schedule. So my apologies, Seven Senshi. I do want to jump into your streams on occasion, but I think I've rated Seven Senshi a couple times. So please give Seven Senshi a follow. Okay, so first things first. Warm up is going to be a trick called I Know Kung Fu. And I totally just learned this a few weeks ago, and it's been it hasn't been vetted very much yet. So you guys are going to be in for a treat. So anybody who's here early, you get to see this today. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait until later. Okay, so first things first. I have set aside 4 assistants. They are the 4 kings. And then we are going to have a selection. Now, if anybody wants to select something, you can either just type the card in chat, or if you want to use the heat map, if you're on browser, you can actually click. All right, okay, we have somebody that's selected something. And I believe that looks like to be the 10 of clubs. All right, so it doesn't matter that I know what it is, but okay, so that has worked. All right, excellent. So heat map, there we go. Awesome, thank you for the selection, whoever it was. Okay, so what we have here are the 4 king assistants and the 10 of clubs. Now, with this trick, what we're going to do is the kings, we're going to slowly turn them face down, and then of course we have the 10 of clubs. We're going to leave that right there. And what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and take the 2 black kings and we're going to place them over here just for a second. Now the 2 red kings I'm going to place on top of the 10 of clubs. I'm going to go ahead and sandwich the 10 of clubs in between the 2 red kings. So we've got those 3 cards there. Now what I'm going to do is, and here's what I imagine that the pattern could have been when they first made this, because if anybody's not familiar with the I know Kung Fu line, it's basically the line from The Matrix when Neo, Keanu Reeves' character, basically gets Kung Fu uploaded into his head. But imagine if I had Kung Fu powers, and what I could do is grab the 10 of clubs out from between the red kings, because look, I have done it right now, and I could place it in between the 2 black kings, because look, there it is. And that's what it could look like. Now, I know you did not know what was coming, so let me do it again one more time. So we have our 10 of clubs right there, and we're going to go ahead and, oh no, oops, be in after the ad. Oh, my apologies. So I'm going to have to talk about ads for a second after this trick. But welcome in, Jesse Nicole. Actually, I'll wait until she gets back. Okay, so what we have here, I'm going to leave the 2 black kings face up this time. But what I want to do is actually show you that, here, this is still the 10 of clubs, right? And I'm going to leave that over here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to need to grab the 2 black kings. So here's the king of spades. I'm going to place the 10 in between, and then the king of clubs is going to go right here. And then finally we have our 2 red kings. Now what I'm going to do is grab the spirit of the 2 red kings and then exchange it with the spirit of the 10 of clubs. And believe it or not, what I've just done in my hands is that the 2 red kings have now become 1 card and is actually the 10 of clubs. And you're probably wondering, well, wait, what card is that there? And it only looks like 1 card. But look, if I show you this card, if I go 1, 2, it actually is 2 cards, and it's actually both red kings. And that, my friends, is I know Kung Fu. Alright, let me catch up with chat. So, first of all, I tried to say, hello, Jesse Nicole, when you said there was an ad, and I was like, I should probably say hello again, because the ad is probably not over. So yeah, first of all, I'm sorry there was an ad. Number 2, I can't even trigger ads manually because I don't have an official schedule posted, even though I try to stream on Sunday nights, but like, I don't know what time I'm going to start. Ideally, I would like to start earlier, but I have a almost 16-month-old baby, and the time just changed literally last night, so like the sleep schedule is super weird for a baby right now. So I don't know when I'll start. So I don't even know, when to put like on the schedule when I would stream on Sunday nights, because I'll start as early as I can, but it'll just get pushed forward. So yeah, and then let's see. So anyway, welcome in, Jesse Nicole. Let's see. Thank you for the claps, Jesse Nicole, and 7 Senshi. Okay, yeah, no worries, happens all the time. Yeah, it sure did, lol. Yeah, baby is more important. Yeah, so, a long story short, I have prioritized a lot of things in my life, and I've decided that, my family has to come first. And so, my baby and my wife are the topmost priorities in my life. So if it ever came down to well, I need to do something for the family, or, you know, go to work. I would even stop. I would just not go to work that day and do the thing for the family. Consequently, obviously, if I had to do like a Twitch stream or take care of the family, which has actually happened, I ended up taking care of the family instead. So. Let's see here. Yeah, thanks for the shoutouts for Charlie's Beats. Charlie's Beats starts streaming again, plays music. And let's see. Oh yeah, baby. I am a father before being a magician or a streamer. So yep, if I have to bail. So actually, my wife and I have started talking about how we can somehow deal with Sunday nights. So we have a solution in place. And so I don't know if you guys have noticed, I haven't left the last few Sundays. To be fair, we've been a little bit of extra lucky. So I do have a baby monitor here, but we've worked out a system now where it's like I could probably stay without having to be interrupted. I might have to pause to like text my wife, but so yeah. Okay, let's see. Hello, welcome back, Cloudy Haiku. How are you doing? Let's see if everybody is here. Just finished time traveling, one of the best time travels of a year. Next year, we may not have this. Hello, welcome in, David Piano. We're going to shout out for David Piano as well. David Piano plays piano, plays a lot of VGM, and also is jazzy, so I really like that, like jazz, so that's pretty good as well. But we finished time traveling. This might be the last time that we have the fall back to gain an hour because we're going back to standard time from daylight saving time. And it's kind of stuck in the government right now, but we'll see if we end up doing that next year. On another note, happy National Nachos Day. So if you didn't have any nachos, you still got like, if you're on the East Coast, about 2 hours to go eat some tortilla chips to have a count. Hey, Gibson Lens got the Doritos. Excellent. Yeah, no problem, David Piano. Fall back is okay, but I hate spring forward. Yeah. Spring forward, I think undeniably everybody agrees is the worst. So, but yeah, time traveling was fun. Let's see. So Devil's Elevator. Let me prep for that while we talk about time traveling. Yeah, I think everybody agrees that turning the clocks back and forth is detrimental, and nobody can agree whether we should stop going backward and forward and just stay forward or stay backward. Yeah, long story short, I'm in the less popular camp, and I think we should stay in standard time, but we don't need to get into any sort of polarizing discussions. But if you want to talk about it in chat, feel free. But I'm not going to get upset if anybody wants to be in daylight saving time or wants to be in standard time, but I know that one way it's more popular, the other is less popular. Whatever. Okay. All right, so we have a trick as requested by 7 Senshi. This is called the Devil's Elevator. Yep. Okay, just making sure. I have two tricks in my trick list that have the word devil in it. So, okay, here we go. So first things first, we have 8 cards, and these cards are just 6s and 9s. Aside from the obvious internet memery, I'm just using 6s and 9s because Devil's Elevator implies that the devil, and at certain angles, like it might look like 666. So that's pretty much the only reason why we use this. And then these are the 2, 3, 4, and 5 of diamonds. So that's that. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and leave the 4 black 6s and 9s over here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the 5, 4, 3, and 2 out here. So here's the 5. So we're going to place that there. And then here's the 4. Then here's the 3. And then what I'm going to do with the 2 is I'm going to place it on top of these 6s and 9s. Now, the reason why this is called the Devil's Elevator is that people don't realize that when you get into hell, there's multiple levels of hell. I mean, there's probably been literary discourse about it before, but this is going to represent the levels of hell. So here, this is the first level of hell, which is the topmost level, and also logistically the easiest one to escape from hell from. So just imagine you can get here, you can probably escape. But we've got the second level of hell, the third level of hell, the fourth, and the fifth. Now if I take the 2 and I place it here in the second level of hell, it's that much harder to get out of hell. But, in a lot of businesses, the hell is basically a business. So there is a maintenance elevator. So if you find the devil's elevator, devil's maintenance elevator, you get to it and you see that there's an up and down button. If you look on the back of these cards, there's a little circle for up and down. So from your perspective, if we press the up button, you have to say ding, because if you don't make the sound effect, then that means the elevator was broken. But that actually brought the 2 up to the top of the pack. I know, super weird, right? That's okay. We're going to demonstrate to you a few more instances of the devil's elevator. So now look, I'm going to go ahead and place the 3 here in the first, second, third level of hell. I'm going to press that in, and we find the devil's maintenance elevator. And look, if we have the buttons up and down, if we press up, ding! Did you see the 3 hop up to the top? Because that's how the devil's elevator works. Because here is the 3. Now, some people believe that I've had some of the red cards in here at some point, but no, look, these are the same 4 black 6s and 9s that we've been using the whole time. But look, I'm going to go ahead and place the 4 in the 4th level of hell. First, second, third, and 4th. Press that in, and you approach the devil's elevator. You see the buttons. Hey, look, I'm going to go ahead and press the up button. Ding! And look, the 4 hops up to the top. Now, other people suspect that I have had more than 4 cards here, but no, if you take a look, there's only 4 cards here. And the 5, if I cleanly place it in the 5th level of hell, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we close that up, ding! Sorry, I didn't press the button. Ding! And believe it or not, that's actually going to make the 5 hop up to the top. And here are our black 6s and 9s. And that, my friends, is the story of how to get out of hell when you find the devil's elevator. Alright, so let's see, let me catch up in chat here. 7 Senshi says, oh, thank you for the emote, 7 Senshi, and oh, interesting. I'm only imagining that you are also doing the fingers here. So, but thank you for those. Thank you for the emotes and cheers, T5 Trester, and thank you for the applause, Gibson Lens, Jesse Nicole, Cloudy Haiku, and 7 Senshi, and thank you for the Doritos checking the gaff meter. And oh, welcome in Sagabra. How are you doing today? And then thank you for the GG, David Piano. Thank you kindly. All right. All right, so the trick queue is clear. If anybody would like to request anything, here's the trick list. I'm using a co-opted StreamerSonglist that basically lists my tricks instead of songs, because I'm actually not a musician, but I like to sing karaoke, but that's I don't know, does that count? I don't know if that really counts. I'm Asian, right? So it's like almost implicitly like in my blood, I sing karaoke. Like so I don't know if anybody has ever had Vietnamese cuisine. All right, just to dispel any misconceptions right now, I am Vietnamese, and if anybody has had Vietnamese pho, which is like, I would say, the flagship soup dish that has made it to American culture from Vietnamese culture. The other thing is banh mi, and it's usually banh mi sandwich. So, but pho, it's basically like a rice noodle or vermicelli noodle in a beef broth, and a bunch of stuff in it. But the standard way that you have pho is that they slice very thin slices of beef that's raw directly into the hot broth, and basically on the way of it being served to you is when it cooks. So you would historically see at really authentic places that the slices were still a little bit pink in the middle, but the edges had started getting cooked. But yeah, so that's pho. But if you've never had pho, there's chicken varieties as well for a lot of like popular American fusion places. And then banh mi is basically like banh mi literally translates to bread or like bread loaf. I think I'm not really fluent in Vietnamese, but that's kind of like my interpretation based on the Vietnamese that I remember. I'm kind of reaching into the depths here, but yeah. So oftentimes it's like maybe like thin Vietnamese style cold cuts with like pickled vegetables and things like that. But one of the things that you eat with these dishes is so where I'm going with this is bean sprouts. Bean sprouts very popular in Vietnamese dishes, and some people would say, "No, you're not Vietnamese because I hate bean sprouts." So there's my confession. I hate bean sprouts. I'm sorry. All right. Ultimate 3-card Monty has been requested by David Piano. Hey, welcome in Nala Tanuki. Let's see. Hi, how are you? I am doing well. How are you doing? FYI, let's shout out Nala Tanuki if we can. Oh, I love banh mi. Excellent. I'm glad that you love banh mi. But yeah, Nala Tanuki plays piano. Actually, does more variety, but has arts and crafts streams where I've seen painting, and then also has some food streams. So please follow Nala Tanuki. Okay, so we have a request for Ultimate Card 3-card Monty. All right. As requested by David Piano. Okay, now here's the thing. This is going to be interactive for mostly anybody on browser, because I'm going to turn on the heat map and then ask people to click where they think something is. So, okay. And also, I'm going to give myself a hydrate, mostly because I am slightly thirsty. I'm having some black tea today. I also have backup water just in case I finish the tea on stream. But okay, all right. So here we go. Ultimate 3-card Monty. So what we have here is 2 red cards and then the Ace of Clubs. The Ace of Clubs is the money card. Now, let's see what we can do. I don't know why I'm mixing these up. I don't have to mix these up. I probably shouldn't mix these up, honestly. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place these out, and then you guys are going to click on where you think the Ace of Clubs is. Got it? Okay, so first things first, I'm going to go ahead and place the Ace of Clubs here in the middle. Then I'm going to grab the 2 of diamonds and place it over here. And then we're going to place the 3 of diamonds over here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 2 swaps. Okay, so here we go. 1, we're doing this really slow. Hopefully you can follow. 2. Now for anybody who is on desktop in your browser, you should be able to, actually not yet, hold on. Okay, now anybody who is on browser, you should be able to click directly on the stream, and then it will put like a little mark. So everybody click where they think the ace is at the moment. So feel free to put those down. So while I let people vote, I will let you know you should never play 3-card Monty, or really any number of card Monty, with anybody on the street, because it is a con. They will take your money. Okay, so we've got some votes. So we have, let's see, we have over here, we have 3 votes. We have 1 vote here and no votes over here. Okay. So let's start with the most popular one over here. Now, I think intuitively this is where you would think the ace is, but if I show you, this is actually where the 2 of diamonds is. And then the other person, one person guessed here, this is actually where the 3 of diamonds is. And then the last, and nobody had picked this one, is the Ace of Clubs, which is actually where it was. So I'm going to go ahead and reset the heat map, and we're going to do this again. Okay. Now, once again, man, I have this habit when I do like tricks and stuff. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do this again, and what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and place the ace of clubs here in the middle. 2 of diamonds, same setup, over here. 3 over here. Okay, got it? Now I'm going to make 2 switches. I want you to contain your laughter. Just contain your laughter, okay? All right. 1, 2. Okay, I've made the 2 swaps. All right, if you're on browser, please go ahead and just click where you think the ace of clubs is. While we do that, I'm going to catch up with chat. Let's see. It snowed. It snowed, and you're up in Canada. Okay, so I don't want to make you jealous, but I had extremely temperate and warm weather here, which was unusual for where I am in the United States the last couple of days. So let's see. What kind of black tea? Let's see. I think this is Tetley Assam. So if you're familiar with black tea, Assam, I think is the variety. Let's see here. Okay, so we have a bunch of votes. Okay, it appears as though there's a few votes here and then nothing anywhere else. Okay, so let's begin. Intuitively, I believe this is where it was because, comically, I just swapped this and then I swapped it back, right? That's all I did. But if I show you, this would not be the correct guess because that's where the 2 of diamonds is. And nobody'd guess this or this one, but if I show you, this is where the 3 of diamonds is. And of course, this is where the ace of clubs was. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and reset the heat map one more time. And we're just going to do this one more time. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to remove one of the cards from play. So just to make this less confusing for you, we'll only play with 2 cards. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the 2 of diamonds. I'll go ahead and place that over there. And then what I'm going to do is place the ace of clubs here and the 3 of diamonds here. Okay. And this is as fair as I can be. I'm going to make 0 swaps. And once again, anybody on browser, go ahead and click where you think it is. And it's when you click on the heat map, it's safe. We can't connect it to who clicked anywhere. So you could even be completely from lurkers, and I wouldn't know. So. Okay, let's see here. It was unusually warm in Boston area today. Yeah, I think. Oh, yeah, I'm in the Northeast. I'm in upstate New York, so that's very similar weather. Jesse Nicole. Okay, and 7 says she says, "Ooh, yum." Okay, I assume that's to the T. All right. Okay, so we've got 3 votes for here, where I would have initially placed it. We have no votes for this one, and then some people maybe they have seen this trick, me perform this trick before. So we're going to go ahead and start with here. This is the most obvious and intuitive place where it should be, the ace of clubs. If I show you, that's not there. That's where, the magician would want you to think where it is. This is, of course, the 3 of diamonds. And this is why you don't play Ultimate 3-Card Monty with anybody on the street. And that, my friends, is 3-Card Monty. Let's see, Cloudy Haiku says, "How?" Oh, thank you for the clap, David Piano. Thank you kindly, greatly appreciate it. Oh crap, did I remove any? Oh, well, okay. Well, anybody who was here last stream, you know that I added some just for Halloween. I did not remove them, so they're still here. You're welcome. All right, thank you for the claps and emotes. Jesse Nicole, 7 Senshi, Charlie's Beats, Nala Tanuki, And thank you for that was pretty cool, David Piano. Let's see. David Piano, have you ever dabbled in learning any magic before or no? You just interest? All right, once again, the trick queue is empty. Feel free to request anything, anybody. And if you want to request something but you don't know what to request, you can do !random in the chat and it'll randomly request one for you. Nala Tanuki says, these tricks are too crazy. You're welcome, or my apologies. Whichever one is more applicable. Ooh, Charlie, you have found the one trick that I would consider maybe not even a card trick. It is actually a coin trick. Let's see. Cloudy Haiku, I kind of wish you would also explain how you do it, but I know that would ruin the magic. Yes, Cloudy Haiku, I will not explain how I do effects. So I will give you a little bit of kind of like the structure and how we talk about it. So when magicians talk about a trick, the thing that the spectator sees is called the effect. So that's the effect, the magical effect that the spectator sees. Hey, welcome in, Savinius. How's it going? Welcome in. But when we as magicians talk about doing the trick itself, there are things that we will talk about, and we will refer to like the thing that makes it magic. We call that the method. So it's like the method that we achieve the magical effect that the audience will see. And then there's all sorts of other things. So there might be like prerequisite sleights. So in order to do this card trick, I might need to know these 2 or 3 sleight of hand maneuvers. And then there's a whole host of like other things besides just doing the trick. There's also the performance. So like we'll call the words that we say during the trick, whether we're telling the truth or not, or if it's just a story to help immerse you, we call that the patter. So the words that I'm saying during the trick is the patter of the trick. And so hopefully that gives you like a glimpse into the world of like just the immediate, learning of the trick. Once you get into learning a bunch of classic type tricks, you'll find out like who created it, which is actually one of the things that I wanted to achieve with my song list, because there's a lot of tricks that a lot of people don't know who developed them, and they are like famous magicians, but only known to magicians. They're not known to regular lay people. And so I wanted to draw attention and like give, credit and like appreciation to those people. So but yes, there's yeah, I would not teach any of those, but if you want to go through like see more of my thought process, last year I did a project where I did a lot of magic tricks with card game and board game components. And then after that, I filmed a vlog basically for each one of those videos. And you'll get a lot of insight into my creative process during those vlogs on my YouTube channel. So I'll just drop my YouTube in there. So if you want to check that out, just search for like magic vlog, VLOG, on my YouTube channel, and you'll be able to see all of those if you would like. But by and large, I'm mostly just performing tricks, because also people who create tricks, if they're still alive, they might be getting paid. They might be selling the trick to make money. And so if I give away the secret, it's not really my secret to give away, right? Like they created it, and so it's like they're kind of using it for their livelihood, and it's like it would be wrong of me to just give that away. So okay, cool. So hopefully that is a sufficient. That's probably a long-winded answer for what could have been shorter, but I wanted to at least give it real attention. And also it's like talking about the art of magic, which is not talked about too often, like outside magic circles. So let's see. All right, so David Piano has seen some videos but never was very good. Yeah, I mean, it just takes practice, and honestly, like there's a lot of tricks that don't require sleight of hand. I like sleight of hand, so that's most of the tricks that I do. But there are tricks that pretty much don't require any sleight of hand. Maybe the better storyteller you are, the better it is, but otherwise, like you can find those and you can perform those. Yeah. All right, cool. It's a coin trick. I've never heard of. How exciting. Okay, yeah. First of all, let me get coins. And Wait, these are not the appropriate coins. Where the heck are the correct coins? Oh, they're in the... Sorry, I have a pouch. This is my coin pouch. I was looking at this other stack of coins that I had here. I'm like, wait, these are not nice looking coins. Like, two of them were dirty, ratty quarters and stuff. Oh yeah, math-based tricks. Yeah, that's always a great like introduction if you want to do something and if you understand the mathematical principle or just like the algorithm, which could just be like a story, like, oh, now you have to count down the number of cards by spelling this card or something, right? So it's like the 10 of spades, and it's like TEN and something else. So you can do that. Let's see. My brain wants to know how things work, so learning some background is interesting. Yeah, yeah. So so I'm a software engineer, and so I when I first started watching Magic, like in 2019, I was like, I could totally figure this out. I know this. When I was exposed to it as a kid, I was just like, that's so cool. How did they do this? And then like I think that's how a lot of people feel at that time. But okay. Let's do a trick for Charlie's Beats, and then we'll continue this discussion after this trick. So, all right. So first things first, we will need four coins, and we'll need four cards too. But if you were here, you can inspect all four quarters. They are legitimate quarters. I could borrow quarters. It'd be nice if they, looked about the same. So the other quarters that I have over there are like two of them were super dirty, two of them were not. But these four kind of look very similar. I'm going to go ahead and place them into four corners here. And what we are going to do is I'm going to use four cards. So I'm just going to grab any four cards. It doesn't really matter. And I'm not hiding anything underneath. So it legitimately uses four quarters and four coins. So, and if you've seen this before, this is a very short abbreviated version of like some crazy other high-level magicians that have worked on like this routine forever in their entire lives. And so all I'm going to do is I'm going to cover each one of these quarters with a card. And what we're going to do is, have you guys ever seen Star Trek? Or even if you haven't seen Star Trek, are you familiar with the technology where you transport people and things, so like from one place to another, just seemingly by magic? Because that's basically what we're going to do. So if I show you, look, there's a quarter. What if I told you I can transport this one from this corner to that corner? Because look, it happens very fast. If I say, Scotty, just beam. Here, we'll do it again. Watch. And then finally, last but not least, and that, my friends, is the basic coin matrix. All right, let's see. Gibson Lens and Charlie's Beats, thank you for the Izzy emotes for the Star Trek combat. Jesse Nicole says, "Yep." Tangy Cat. There are four. Oh, never mind. First of all, welcome in, Tangy Cat. I think I've seen you in some other streams, but welcome in. I think this is the first time you're chatting in mine. So, and if you've been here before, thank you for lurking. And if you haven't been here, welcome in. But yes, no. I'm a huge. I don't know how to call it. So like there's Trek E and then Trek and now there's new stuff on CBS that people can only watch if they subscribe. And so I think I'm in the Trek camp where I like Next Gen, DS9, and Voyager, that stuff. So I'm very familiar with There Are Four Lights, and that Picard episode, one of the best Next Gen episodes. Or was it 2 episodes? I think that was a season finale premiere. I may have seen Star Trek. Yes. Cloudy Haiku says yes. All right. Nala Tanuki says, damn! I think I emphasized the yum enough. And let's see. Tangy Cat says, Shen me the heck. Thank you for the claps. Cloudy Haiku and Nala Tanuki. And Gibson Lens and David Piano and the Wow from Savinius. Thank you. Tangy says, thanks, my first time in. Welcome. Cloudy Haiku says that episode is too stressful. Oh man, yeah. Some of them are really like. So I watched them when I was younger, and I'm like, oh, you get really emotional, and like, and you don't realize it's like, I mean, you do realize it's just a show, but like, you really care about what happens. Luckily, I did not watch things like Game of Thrones when I was a young kid because, that might have been way too emotional. So, oh, thank you for or did I? Yeah. Okay, let's see. Yes, it was two-parter. No one remembers the first part. Yes, I do. Charlie's Beat says. All right. Chain of command. All right. Shen Mi as in what in Mandarin? Oh, okay. I don't know how to pronounce that, but Shen Mi. Something like that, maybe? I don't know. I'm just guessing. I quite like Lower Decks, and Prodigy Lower Decks is made for people who love the TNG era. Okay, awesome. I'd probably love it. The problem is I currently don't have time to watch shows, but one day I would like to. Okay, Tangy says Shenme. All right. I'm going to set up for twisting the aces, mostly because I just need to find the aces, but we'll do that next, as requested by Nala Tanuki. All right. Jesse Nicole says, another friend of mine who streams is a bug Star Trek fan and was going on the other day about how it sucks that the Star Trek crew is so diverse and work together and we aren't. Valid points. Oh, yeah. Okay, so first things first. I pulled out all the aces. You may notice that they are all signed. Actually, if anybody is curious or if it's your first time here, anybody who decides to sub or give me 500 bits, which is the equivalent of a sub, you get to sign a card in the Twitch deck, and then it's basically like a continuous shout out until this deck completely is filled in or wears out. So, but feel free. Also, this is probably a good time to plug Prime. So I don't know if everybody knows, but it's always good to mention the Prime sub. And for anybody who has Amazon Prime, if you link it with your Twitch, you get a free sub to a channel to support every month. And whether you use it on me or not, I don't really care as much as you using it on literally anybody, like any creator, any content creator on Twitch. So feel free. But anyway, okay, I'm gonna get down from my that. So if anybody's curious, that's why they're all marked up. But in most of these tricks, like having a signed card doesn't really affect the trick negatively. Actually, usually enhances it because it's like there's only one copy of that card, right? So I can't like duplicate it or anything. But okay, here we have the 4 aces. Now, what I want to do with these is I want to turn them face up, one card at a time. But if I was to do it like this, that would be cheating because that's how normal people would do it. So we're not allowed to do it the normal people way because I'm a magician. So we're going to go ahead and hold the pack and give it a twist like this. And believe it or not, that's going to turn up the Ace of Hearts. Because look, did you see the Ace of Hearts? Let's turn face up. But look, I'm going to go ahead and hold the pack and twist it again. You'll notice that the Ace of Hearts is going to turn itself face down. But then the Ace of Clubs will turn itself face up. Because look, isn't that weird? Yeah, Gibson Lens. Both in the chat and mod. So, Gibson Lens. Give him a follow. Okay, I'm going to hold the pack. Give it another twist, like so. And believe it or not, that's going to turn up the Ace of Diamonds. Because look, I didn't do anything. It's just, See, there it is. And then finally, the last ace is the Ace of Spades. Now, the Ace of Spades, I swear, is magically resistant. And it's because the pip on the ace is way more gigantic than all the other ones. So whether you want to call it egotistical, narcissistic, any of those negative douchebag. I don't know. All of those words will work. So look, if I just show you that they're all face down, right? Even though I give it a twist, the ace of spades will not listen. It won't listen at all. Even if I give it 2 twists, some people will say you just cumulatively gave it 3 magical twists. Yeah, I'm aware. That's okay. You know what? Okay, I'm going to need some magic sent. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on heat map. And for everybody who wants to send some magic, click on your browser. And if you want to send magic but you're not on desktop, go ahead and put ones in chat. So ones in chat, or click, or both if you want to send extra magic. So let's get all of that magic. Okay, whoever gave this one, you missed, but you know, you're almost there. Hold on. Wait. Okay. Okay, there you go. All right, Jesse Nicole sends a ton of ones. Savinius gives a 1. Nala Tanuki gets a 1. We got 4 other people sending their magic here, because look, that was enough magic to make the ace of spades conform to the rest of the trick and turn its face up. There we go. Anyway, thank you for sending all of your magic, everybody. That was I feel magically rejuvenated. So if I was a video game character with MP, you guys just refreshed some of my MP, so thank you. All right. Thank you for the emotes, Jesse Nicole, and the claps, and the what? Tangy Cat. And Ken R1. First of all, welcome in. Thank you for the claps, and thank you for the nice. Hopefully you enjoy your time here. And let's see. Thank you for the spooky Nala Tanuki and the claps. And Savinius, thank you for the so good. Thank you very much. All right. Okay. Next thing's next. The magic queue is empty, so feel free to request any magic tricks. And then also, if anybody doesn't know how but would like to, you can click on my StreamerSonglist, which has no songs. It has all tricks. And you can request something if you don't know what to request, but you would like to. Feel free to use !random, and that will randomly place a trick into the queue. I will warn you that there's one trick on the list that is actually not a real magic trick. It's just me solving a Rubik's Cube, but if you want to see that, feel free to request that as well. In the interim, I'm going to go ahead and take a swig of my tea. Oh, okay, I was hoping somebody would request one of these. And Charlie's Beats, you have requested, I don't want to say like the correct trick for tonight, but it's actually maybe one of the most relevant tricks, because I did want to bring this up tonight, and I didn't know when it was going to be. But this is a great segue, because it's like perfect timing, because the trick is related to it. But so, if anybody didn't know, there's been some sad news in the Magic community for the past week. In the past week. Because we have lost a great magician, and a lot of you may know his name if you were watching like television specials like in the 80s and the 90s. But his name was Max Maven. So Max Maven was an acclaimed magician and mentalist, which is just another branch of magic, but you focus on things where you present the trick as though you are reading their mind or mentally manipulating them, hence mentalism. But if anybody didn't know, Max Maven passed away last week, and he was a person who contributed so much to the magic community, came up with so many tricks, not just card tricks, but like so many other tricks, was part of like the Magic Castle for years, and things like that. So, but I actually recorded a YouTube video for remembering Max Maven, and that's actually going to premiere tomorrow on my YouTube channel. And I do 2 tricks. This is one of them. So Overture by Max Maven is the first trick, and then there's one more by Max Maven, which I usually use as a closer. So if I don't end up doing it before the end, I'll probably use that as the closer for tonight. But Yeah, so when I heard the news, I was a little bit bummed out, but so this was one of the tricks that Max Maven has left in the world that I use pretty regularly, and so just wanted to call that out and rest in peace, Max Maven. So okay. Let's see. Tangy Cat says, "I don't know what any of these mean." That probably means you don't know what the names of the tricks are. Yeah, that's fine. You don't have to know. Part of me doing these shows is that if you end up coming back to my stream and you see me do the same tricks over and over again, first of all, hopefully you learn like what the name of a trick is with the card trick. But then also you might appreciate if I end up doing it differently, like on one stream to another. Like there's a couple of streams where I'll personalize a trick for some viewers or somebody who's donated in chat or something like that. Or recently, I just made a trick for Rob Kovacs. Actually, before we do this next trick, if I can, let's give Rob Kovacs a shout out. I do want to show off. So Rob Kovacs has, I would say, written me a. He didn't really write me, but like he's given me a theme song. Oh, Tang Cat, you saw the trick for Rob. Awesome. Okay. And so anybody who's familiar with Rob Kovacs' stream, occasionally when I come in now, he plays the Crazy Asian theme song. Let me play that. So I'd clipped it like once or twice when he first started doing it, but this last clip, somebody else clipped it. So I was like, oh! So hold on. Let me pull up that and then see if can you guys see the Rob Kovacs? Okay, I think you can. All right. Hey, welcome in, Frolic Chris. We're just going to show off the Crazy Asian theme song by Rob Kovacs really quick. So, if you guys have not seen this, first of all, Rob Kovacs is an amazing piano streamer, plays VGM, plays mashups, improv, yacht rock, popular music. He has his own originals as well, so it's like totally recommend giving Rob Kovacs a follow. But if nothing else, if you want to see him play the Crazy Asian theme song live, I will just play this clip right now. I hope you can hear the audio. Let me know if you can't.
So give him a follow. And we got Crazy Asians here as well. He can do magic, everyone. He can do magic. He can do anything that you desire. Magic. And you know he's the one who can put out the fire. Crazy Asian is a magician here on Twitch, doing card tricks for your face in front of your eyes. Be amazed. He can do magic. Go follow Crazy Asian.
And that was the Crazy Asian theme song by Rob Kovacs. So yeah, thank you very much, Rob Kovacs. I love it. But I figured I'd just share it with you guys because, first of all, I get a kick out of it like pretty much every time it's played, and then it's kind of developed a little bit. So every time there's a hype train in Rob Kovacs' chat, he's like, okay, everybody put song names in chat, and he just tries to play as many of them so quickly, and somebody has requested like the Crazy Asian theme song, and he's played it, and I was like, no, during a hype train. So I was like, oh my god. Okay. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Let's see. Haha, that song. Ha ha ha. Clap, clap, clap. Lol. Hey, welcome in. Checking the gaff meter. Now that Tanuki is dancing, and Savinius has got the Rob Heatman. Yeah. I wish it were Magic by the Cars. Oh. And then Jesse Nicole, thank you for the Sencha Heart. And Savinius, awesome. Tangy Cat's dancing with Ficta. Emotes, sweet. Ah, that's great. So awesome. That's funny. I haven't seen him do that. Gibson Lens, weird Al it up and send it to him. That's great. Probably Chris requested something as well. Alchemmutation, that was magic. Yes, he can do it. All right. Welcome in Alchemmutation, also known as Craig, if you're familiar with literally all of the other Twitch streamers on Twitch. But Yeah, if we can give yeah, Frolic Chris plays piano and is also part of Gibson Lens Expanse Club. So let's give Frolic Chris a shout out, and also Alchem Mutation a shout out as well. Plays metal, also occasionally just has some activities to play, and Alchem Mutation is also a mod for some of the other Magic streamers. If anybody's looking for more Magic on Twitch, I totally recommend following InfoXZar and also Hallowthorn, and you may know them as Jack and Ben. So if you guys would like to find more magicians that stream Magic on Twitch consistently, these guys are the guys to go to. All right, and then I think, did I see a Essentia Katner come in? Is that right? Hey, welcome in, Sencha Katner. If we can get a shout out for Sencha Katner as well, because Sencha Katner, if you want to see something different that is not like music, video games, or magic, Sencha is a mad scientist and does botany with plants. So, all right, okay. Sorry, we have been on this tangent for a bit, so I'm sorry, Charlie's Beats, if you've been waiting very patiently for this trick, but here we go. We are now going to be doing Overture. Now, this is a quick trick, so I'll usually pop it out in like the first 4 tricks if I'm approaching like a new group of people, because the time commitment is very, very low on this. But here we have 2 black kings and then 2 red 4s. And what we end up doing is we're going to go ahead and flip the 2 black kings down, and I'm going to place the 2 red 4s face up in the middle. So they really are in the middle. And what I'm going to do is, if I were to reverse count them, that's not really going to change the state of this at all, like this, right? So the state is going to be for the red 4s face up in the middle in between the 2 face down black kings. But all I'm going to do is, if I hold the pack and just give it a nice little shake like that, if I go through it now, would you believe that the 2 black kings are now face up in the middle and the 2 red 4s are face down on the outside? If you don't believe that, take a look, because look. Isn't that so weird? That's so weird. And I can do this with borrowed cards. Like, these are not special cards. They are just regular cards. So, yeah, the impressive thing is, oh, by the way, if anybody who was part of that discussion before, I think Cloudy Haiku, you were asking about it, and David Piano, if you're interested in tricks that can be done with a regular deck of cards, all of the tricks that have the impromptu tag in my trick list can be done with a borrowed deck of cards. So that kind of will kind of split, you know, a bunch of the card tricks. And it's like, just trust that what you're seeing is just sleight of hand and there's no other trickery. Okay, cool. So that, my friends, is Overture by Max Maven. And so it's very short, it's very quick, but hopefully it gives like a taste of, you know, what an illusion, how quickly an illusion can impress, right? Let's see. I've had it loaded for a bit, but I've been multitasking too much. I didn't want to give half attentive hello and then step away. Yeah, you know, Sencha, I oftentimes wonder how often certain streamers want me to say like hello and then lurk and then like, or if they want me to interact if I say hello or just don't say anything. And it's like, it's a tough, right? Because I feel like it is very dependent upon who the streamer is. And then like also what you're doing, like how likely it is you're going to be pulled away potentially. But just so you know, here, I don't mind. If you just want to be like, hi, and then lurk right away, that's perfectly fine with me. So, and goes for anybody else. If you just want to lurk in my stream, awesome. Part of the thing that makes my stream, I think, fun and interactive is if there's somebody interacting. So if nobody's interacting, I think that might make it a little bit less impressive. But if there's just a few people, that's all it takes. We don't need. I think it would be tough if I had like 100 people on the heat map and it's like I can't see anything. So, let's see. Bonus stick stream. Thank you for the claps and emotes. Charlie's Beats, Nala Tanuki. Let's see. Max Maven was a legend. A trick for kings. Wait a minute. So what's special about the other decks? Well, I'm going to let you know that there are other decks that exist. Whether I use them or not is not necessarily material in most cases, but there are certain like cards that are not part of a regular deck that I may use. And if you've seen a bunch of tricks that I've done before, you know I like to use blank cards. So blank cards don't really come in a regular deck of cards. So if you see a blank card, obviously I had to prepare and use the blank card that does not come in a regular deck. So let's see, Alchemmutation, great performance, thank you. I don't know what happened. I don't know why that happened. Yeah, it's very strange. That's weird. Let's see. Frolic Chris, I make bad puns. Welcome to the internet. No. Also, if anybody likes bad puns, I have a dad joke redeem as well. So if anybody would like to redeem a dad joke, they'll probably be pretty bad. Twitch is just weird. Yep. Phone call, eating, all the plant stuff I was doing, all over. Yep. He just used my name, not Twitch username. I didn't think I was a bad word. As far as I know, Ken is not. Whoa! Alchemmutation, you found a leftover remnant that I did not clean up from last stream, so you got it. So if anybody wants to use, there's 2 sound alerts for channel points that I did not clean up from Christmas. Or not Christmas, Halloween. Man, I'm already thinking about Christmas. It's not even Thanksgiving yet, and I'm one of those people who's like, wait until after Thanksgiving before we start the Christmas music. So yeah, I'm one of those people. Haha, I'll try and stop asking for the secrets. I mean, it's okay to have the discussion about it. I'm not going to share, but like, I think having a healthy discussion about the performance of Magic will increase the interest that people will have in the art of Magic. Whether you learn to do it or not, I mean, that's up to you. But, you know, if it builds interest and gets you to want to watch other people's magic tricks, totally helps out the art of Magic to me. So, holy Ken Jesse. Haha, what? Alright, so many people are posting on socials about Christmas already. Yeah, I've kind of fallen away from social media as of late, so. Alright. Man, during that entire monologue, I should have been setting up for the next trick, which has been requested by Jesse Nicole, requested family unit. So I have to pull out 12 cards for that. Patahati already has a Christmas stream, Christmas song redeem. Oh my. It has begun. Everybody, it has begun. Sorry for people who don't like Christmas music too early. Sorry me, I guess. It's just occurred to me that having signed cards is not always great for some Magic. Okay. Okay, so as requested by Jesse Nicole, we are now going to be performing a trick called Family Unit. I have 12 cards here. These 12 cards are all the face cards out of a deck. So here we have all 12 face cards of a deck. Now, before I proceed, I have to tell you what a family unit is for the purposes of this trick. A family unit consists of a jack, a king, and a queen. And what we're going to do is hopefully demonstrate to you how great the family units are at finding each other. Now, Jesse Nicole, if you are in chat and you would like to make some decisions with this, I'm going to label these piles 1, 2, and 3. Feel free to tell me which pile to start with. So whichever one you want to tell me to start with, I will use that one first. 2. Okay, great. So each pile has 4 cards, and if I show you that this card is the King of Hearts, I'm going to go ahead and place the King of Hearts here. Now, hopefully, if I just grab any 2 other cards like so, they should also be the rest of the hearts. We're going to put them in their house. But actually, as it turns out, it was not the Hart household at all. It is indeed the clubhouse. So the clubs were actually in that house. All right, Jesse Nicole, pile 1, 2, or 3 for the next pile to use. 3. Okay, we're going to use 3. All right, so now what's going to happen is we're going to try and, once again, do that exact same thing. All right, so the spades, that was the king of spades. Let's try and find all of the household members of the spade household. Put them in the house. Believe it or not, that was not the spade household. Surprise, surprise. It was indeed the Hart household. Whoa, super weird, right? Okay. Now, Jesse Nicole, if you, I'm going to stack all of these into one pile, but you get to choose what order to stack them in. So if you say 2, 1, 3, I'm going to grab the entire stack of 2, place it on the stack of 1, and then grab the whole thing, place it on the stack of 3. You could go 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, so whatever you want to do. 3, 1, 2. Okay, 3, 1, 2. Okay, so now we have everything in this stack. And what we are going to be doing is, now this time it's kind of fooled us a little bit. We're going to try and force the next house to be whatever house we need it to be. So if I take a look, this is the king of diamonds. So if I go ahead and place the king of diamonds there, now if I go ahead and find another diamond, I'm going to place in this pile. So the jack of diamonds, like so. Okay. And then if I find another diamond, queen of diamonds, I'm going to place it there. So clearly we've tried to just force all the diamonds to be here. So I'm going to go ahead and place them into the diamond household. But when we open up that diamond household, it happens to not be the diamond household at all. It happens to be the spade household. And of course the diamond household, even though we tried to force them into this house, it wasn't their house. This was their house. And so they can't be without a house. But here it is, indeed, the diamond household. And that, my friends, is family units. They are great at finding each other and their house. Okay, let me catch up with chat here for a second. I saw some stuff fly by. Let's see. I have to quit Twitter. Pretty sure that I'm quitting Insta as I have a new user agreement that can't mean anything good. Oh, I'm sorry, Alchemutation. It's beginning to look a lot like magic. Yes, everywhere you go. A friend of mine got a request for the Mariah Carey song on his drum stream, but it was mashed up with Metallica, so it wasn't so bad. You know, that sounds awesome. I would listen to that. Metallica makes everything better. Oh yeah, okay. Alchemutation's right on the right on that. Let's see. Gomer Pile. Thanks for the whoa, Jesse Nicole. And Nalatanuki says, "Come on, come on." Jesse Nicole's like, "How? What?" And then Tang Cat, "Doing me a heckin' bamboozle." I don't normally hear the word bamboozle used in everyday discourse. Thank you for the use of bamboozle. I appreciate that. Tiny Cat says, "What?" Jesse Nicole's like, "Wow." And Alchemutation says, "Neat." Thank you for the claps, Jesse Nicole, Charlie's Beats, Frolic Chris, Charlie, Ken R1, and Nala Tanuki. So Ken says, "Cool." And oh, Frolic Chris's wife is staring at my hands. Well, so I never used to be really great at taking care of my hands, and so when they would like crack in the winter and stuff, I would not be very good at like moisturizing them. But ever since I started regularly performing sleight of hand magic, you have to use hand moisturizer. So you got to keep them in decent shape. So, but yeah, I have a lot of videos on YouTube. So if you want to watch my hands, a lot of material for you to go check and see. So feel free to take a look at those. Let's see. Nal Tanuki says, "Too smooth, crazy." Well, thank you, because I said I now use moisturizer. Hashtag not sponsored. Yeah, bamboozle is a good word. You know, I'm at a new level now. That sometimes I can tell how a trick is done, but it makes the appreciation of the performance and skill involved in order to pull it off, it makes no less satisfying. Yes, elk mutation. I am glad you were at that point because, you know, being appreciated, like even if you know how it's done, it's great. Like it's very validating, even if you're like a musician and it's like, hey, you played that song great. Like it feels really good, right? So it's like even knowing that how to play the song, it doesn't take any magic away from the performance if it was still done well, right? So Sencha says lol during the trick, silly. Oh, yeah. Each expression of surprise seemed surprisingly expressive of the person. Yeah. Do you have an only hands? Oh man. Tell you what, if Elon Musk doesn't own it, sorry, too soon, too soon. Yeah. Sorry, I'll show myself out. Lol. Hell yeah, man. Laughing my ass off. All right, cool. Okay, next we have a trick called matching the cards, and this is requested by Frolic Chris. All right, let me also set this trick up as well. And actually, this is a pretty new addition to the trick list, and I only added it because this is actually the original version of the trick that I did for Rob Kovacs. So if you had seen that recording that I did for Rob Kovacs, you know basically the plot of the trick. But you're now going to get to see the normal performance of it instead of the Rob Kovacs version, which I'm kind of currently prepared I could do, but I'll wait for Rob Kovacs to be in chat. I have done it for him once live, but then I got like a gigantic raid last week, and I was like, oh man, I was a little overwhelmed. Let's see, you're now swearing at me? My virgin ears. Gibson says, Rob, Rob, Rob. I think he's from Cleveland. Ohio streamers represent. Yes, correct. Okay, I'm just going to make sure that I did not mess this up. All right, perfect. All right, matching the cards by Divernon for Frolic Chris. Okay, first things first. We have a deck. What we're going to do is make a prediction. The thing is, I'm going to hopefully find out what the prediction is just by feel. I'm going to use my feminine intuition. Yes, I said feminine intuition. Okay, here we go. Okay. Do I feel like... Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, I'm feeling this card right here. This card is my intuition. The heck is feminine intuition? All right, okay. Anyway, now, in order to make this prediction correct, I'm going to need to find a few other cards. As I find these other cards, I'm going to place them out right here. And then we'll see how that goes. Okay, so here we go. Let me find another card. This one. So if I show you this card, this is an 8 of hearts. So if I go ahead and I place that there, excellent. Let's try and find a second card. We'll do some shuffles as well. Okay, let's find another card. 8. So this is the 8 of clubs. Ooh, some things are starting to shape up. This could be good. This could be good. Let's go ahead and shuffle a little bit more. Okay. Okay. Now, if these patterns continue, I should be able to find an 8 here. Look at that. 8 of diamonds. Is that interesting or what? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and place that here. Now, in order for this to be correct, I think we had seen the 8 of hearts, 8 of clubs, 8 of diamonds. So therefore, if this prediction is the 8 of spades, it should be, right? Then this will have been correct, and this is great. Okay, so let's go ahead and reveal the prediction. Hopefully I'm right. Oh. You know what it was? I said 8 of spades out loud, but in my mind I was thinking ace of spades. So I've made a horrible mistake. I'm so sorry, everybody. This is my mistake. I didn't want to do this. I practiced this and everything. Hold on, wait. I'm a magician, right? So I should be able to fix this. Hold on. The magic snaps always works, right? So hold on, let me just see if this fixed everything. There we go. Okay, we got it. So my prediction was correct. Not that it matched these as you saw them, but like it does match all of the cards that were placed down here. So there we are. This was matching the cards. All right. Let's see. Sencha's trying to spell Kovacs. Yeah. He is indeed from Cleveland. Yeah. Yes, there we go. Gibson knows I'm not crazy. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being crazy. It's just, there are things that crazy people might do that are illegal, but if you're crazy and you don't do any of those things, like, it's probably fine, right? The heck is... Oh, yeah. The card has been felt. Yes, the card was indeed felt. I mean, it's paper, but it's like glossy air cushioned paper. But yes, it was felt. Sorry, dad joke right there. Boom. You guys got that one for free. Lol, glad to bring a giggle. Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking of Papyrus, if anybody's familiar with Undertale. Yeah. Oops. Oh, no, the rest are aces too. Haha! Yes. All right, there we go. 4Y. All right, thank you for the emotes and claps. Frolic Chris, Jesse Nicole. Checking the gaff meter. He can do magic. He can do anything your heart desires. Magic. Let's see. Jesse Nicole says, so all of the magicians on Twitch are Asian and love puns. I mean, you're not wrong. Let's see. Any trick I request you have to show to Rob Kovacs first from now on. I mean, I have shown this to Rob Kovacs. It's just it was a custom version of this for him. All right, this next one's requested by Tangy Cat. $88 bits. Okay. Let me see if there is something cool and special I can do with this one, or if I should just do it the standard way. Because I don't really practice it. Whoa, hey! We just got a raid! I spy with my little eye an unfocused NIA. Welcome in, Unfocused NIA, and everybody from Unfocused's community. Thank you very much for coming into my stream. And hello, raiders. So for those of you who know who I am, I'm just going to explain to everybody else who I am. Hi, my name is Nam, also known as Crazy Asian with 3 N's on Twitch, and I like to do sleight of hand card magic. And so that's basically what we're doing today, and pretty much every other stream that I've done. But welcome in. If you haven't noticed, I have a thing that kind of looks like a streamer song list. I have co-opted a streamer song list to allow people to request tricks that I do. So you can use the commands you know and love, or type in !TL to see the trick list. I understand that if you're not into the world of magic, the names of tricks probably don't register anything to you. But if you would like to request anything, you can type in !random, and that'll randomly put something into the queue. But Nalani, Unfocused IA, named Nalani. So Nalani, how was the stream? I saw you streaming music earlier. So, but is there a trick that I could perform for you and your community? Oh, okay. We got a random one. There we go. This okay. All right, great. This is a good one. Stream was very good. Excellent. Glad to hear. Hopefully it went well, and thank you for bringing your community in. So let me go ahead and bump that trick up, and we'll do that for our raiders. All right. So let's see. Nalani, if you are still in chat, you can select a card. It can be any card. And let me know if you want your signed card. I believe it is actually the Ace of Diamonds. So if you want to pick that one, it doesn't actually matter. But choose one card, and this is the one that you are going to be connected with. Sure, the signed card. All right, this is going to be the signed card. Now, first of all, there's only one signed card that says Unfocused in IA on it, because that's the one that Nalani chose to sign. But what we are going to do is something interesting and magical with it, because each time you see this, you're going to know. And if you want, you can take a screenshot of this right now and just review. It's like, I didn't meticulously, painstakingly create duplicates of this. I would not know if that this trick would come up, that this needs to be verified every time. But so the ambitious card routine is a routine in which this card becomes very ambitious and wants to be seen as the center of attention every single time, no matter what. And so, even if, look, I go ahead and I take it and I place it into the middle of the deck, like so. The ambitious card, which was signed and also magically linked to Nalani, aka Unfocused in IA, comes up to the top magically. I know, right? Super weird. Super weird. But look, we can do it again. If I go ahead and I take it and place it into the middle, like so, and we do a magical snap, believe it or not, that ace is actually going to hop back up to the top. I know, super weird. Oh yeah, if we haven't given Unfocused in IA a shout out, I think we did, but guys, if you are not following Unfocused in IA, please follow Unfocused in IA. Nalani is brilliant, puts on a lot of fun streams. Variety streamer, does video game streams, music streams, arts and crafts streams, cooking streams. So totally give Nalani Unfocused in IA a follow. Okay, so sorry to interrupt this trick, but I felt like that was important to get that in. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and place this card sticking out, and you're going to know sometimes the magicians will swap out a card, but look, you know that I did not swap it out because here it is. It's still there. Now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and place it here in the middle of this packet. Now, I'm going to take that whole packet and stick it into the middle of this packet. And you'll see me just go ahead and push it in. Hey, welcome in. Hey, it's Brendan. Thank you for the follow. Actually, my hands are up. My hands are up in the little... Okay, so I'm not doing anything fishy. All right. Sorry, I realize that sometimes when people do things, there's enough emotes, it kind of blocks a bunch of stuff. So, but yeah, if I put my hands up, you'll know that I'm not doing anything. Unless you think I'm doing like sleight of foot or something. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and push it into the middle. And you can even check and verify. If I show you on the bottom, sometimes magicians might hold the card on the bottom. It's not there. If I show you the card on the top, it's also not there. However, if I go ahead and snap, you'll see that the Unfocused in IA signed card has actually hopped back up to the top. I know, super weird, right? If you were here, I could actually ask you, let's go ahead and do something interesting. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and place a bend in the Unfocused in IA card, actually. We're going to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and place a bend. So look, you'll see Unfocused in IA, bend card. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut that into the middle. So here, you'll see that there's a bend in the Unfocused in IA Ace of Diamonds, right? Now, it is going to be buried in the middle. But look, if I go ahead and I snap, you can even see the moment. Nope, I didn't snap good enough. I don't see it snapping. Did I mess this up? I may have messed this up. That's not the card. Okay, hold on. Let me go ahead and retrieve said card. So it should be super easy. Okay, the bend card is here. So here's the unfocused and IA card with the bend in it. All right, that's super easy. All right, it's back on top. Man, sometimes mistakes happen. That's okay. You just got to learn to deal with it. But look, let me go ahead and, okay, you see the bent card there, right? Okay. And this is what happens sometimes in Magic. You just don't let it get to you. So look, I'm going to go ahead and snap. And did you see that now the top card has actually, there's a bend in this top card now. Like it is clearly clearing that middle finger. And if I show you, it is indeed the unfocused in IA signed Ace of Diamonds. And that, my friends, is the ambitious card routine. Please give Unfocused in IA both a follow and a round of applause. And thank you for the raid, Nalani. Appreciate it. Also, fun fact, if anybody didn't know, my first raid ever was Unfocused in IA. So that is like a trophy that can never be taken away from Nalani. My first raid ever. All right, cool. So let me catch up with chat here. Oh, I'm reading "It's me" as from Unfocused says, "It's me, Mario. It's me, Nalani." All right. Silent XX Bunny says, "What?" Unfocused says, "Woo!" And then, "Woo, Brendan." But anyway, how's it going, Brendan? Hey, it's Brendan TV. If we haven't given it, hey, it's Brendan TV a shout out. Brendan plays video games. I've seen him. I watched him play Hollow Knight. That was that was the last time I think I tuned in. But Hollow Knight's a great game. But I know you play a variety of different games. So let's see. Silent X's Bunny says, "How did he do that?" Hey, it's Brendan TV. What? And Unfocused says, "Ooh." Let's see. Welcome. I'm a tricky card. Unfocused, you are a trickster. You're a tricky one. I mean, I don't know what hat you're going to be wearing one day to the next. Whether it's, just a regular old hat or let me say it, a king hat. No, not a crown. A king hat. Thank you for the claps. Unfocused and IA. Jesse Nicole. Thank you for the awesome card trick. You're welcome. My pleasure, Nalani. Thank you for the raid. Appreciate it. Charlie's Beats, thank you for the claps. Tangy Cat, and hey, it's Brendan Hart, and Jesse Nicole Hart. Let's see. I did a pretty okay Pikachu impression today. Ah, yes. I don't know if I can do a Pikachu impression. Let's see. King hat. Yeah, there's a very specific I think I clipped it. That's why it was like I think I was working and I was like, that's too good, I have to clip it. But I was probably lurking at that point. Hutch MD. Welcome in, Hutch. How's it going? Ding! Broken elevator. Yep. If anybody is familiar with the Devil's Elevator, which I did do earlier, that's what Hutch is referring to. By the way, welcome in, Hutch. How's it going? Welcome in. If we get a shout out for Hutch, that would be excellent. So Hutch plays piano. I make Hutch suffer by giving him extremely difficult sight reads. If you want to also make Hutch have difficult sight reads, feel free to join me in following Hutch MD and yeah, procrastinating on real life things. Totally understand. I've been there and done that. I try to eliminate procrastination in my life for important things and things I like now. But anyway, Charlie's Beat says that's my MO. All right, excellent. Okay, my apologies, Tangy Cat. We had a raid, so of course raider gets priority. But now we're going to be performing Invisible Hands for Tangy Cat. All right, here we go. So First things first, this trick will require 4 cards. What we have here is 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, the thing with this trick is that it is actually based on a trick called the invisible palm, but the invisible palm usually requires a table. Invisible hands, you should be able to do just by holding the cards in your hand. So, now what we have here is a situation where all I have to do is just shake the cards a little bit. You know that there's 3 here and there's 1 over here, but look, if I just shake, one of them is actually magically going to move from one hand to the other hand. I know, super weird, right? Now, look, what I'm going to do now is if I go ahead and I hold 2 cards and 2 cards, like so, all I have to do is shake them like this, and believe it or not, one of those cards is going to jump from one hand to another hand. And so we've got 1 over here and 3 over here. Yeah, and finally, you know, I don't remember how I end this trick. I remember this much. This is the most complicated part. And then I think the ending is like an easy part that I just don't remember. You know, I'm just going to do it this way. So I'm just going to take one of these cards, and I'm going to place the other 3 over here. Actually, that would be placing it on the table. How do I do this? Okay, this card here, I'm just going to show you. You know, I'm just going to do it the way that I'm going to do it. So we have a King of Hearts right there. I'm just going to leave that there, and we're just going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and make this card disappear from over here into over there. I know this is kind of breaking the invisible hands, but I honestly forgot how this trick is supposed to end, so I'm ending it this way instead. Okay, so you see that it's still there, but look, all I have to do is give this a little bit of a shake, and actually that card disappears. It's no longer here. And now all I have to do is hold this over here. I'm just going to shake, and actually that card has appeared right there. So I can show you that the King of Hearts is there. And that, my friends, is a scuffed invisible hands. But I think I got most of the main points of what it's supposed to look like. So there we go. All right. Hopefully you enjoyed that, Tangy Cat. Let's see. Hutch says, thanks. So yeah, he really doesn't like difficult sight reads, but you know, I like teasing him a little bit. Hutch, I just want to let you know that I'm actually a little bit bummed that I missed your raid last night. I'm so sorry. So I was actually talking with my best friend and actually coordinating a trip to go to a magic convention with him, because we're going to be going to this magic convention in January. I'm on the East Coast, he's on the West Coast, so it's kind of tough to like get time zones and stuff, but it's like he has a kid, I have a kid, so it's like, oh, okay. So I was like, all right, let me just go onto your stream for a little bit, and then I had to lurk. But and then when I heard later that Rob Kovacs rated your stream, I was like, it would have been so nice. By the way, I'm recently modded, or I've been recently given modsmanship in Hutch's stream. So I was a little bit bummed, because it would have been cool to like, you know, give everybody a warm welcome, shout everybody out, and then, you know, not have Hutch have to worry about it. But it was not. It was unfortunate timing. So let's see here. Thank you for the claps. Unfocused 9A, Gibson Lens, Hutch MD. And that was awesome, Tangy Cat. Thank you kindly. Let's see. And Hutch is like, no worries. Yeah. Thank you. Tangy Cat, thank you for the claps. You gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah. Ooh, that's exciting. Nah, you good, man. And then, mod love. Speaking of which, it's been a busy night. Let's give Gibson Lens a round of applause. Give him some mod love in the chat, please, because, yeah, people coming in. I don't normally get raids, so this is exciting. All right, let's see. We have a trick that is red packet, black packet. Let me set up for that, and then we'll go from there. welcome, Gibson Lens. Let's see. And thank you for the claps, Jesse Nicole. So anyway, I was thinking about adding a new redeem. And actually, this is a good time to mention it because Hutch is here. So Hutch has a redeem in his stream for Keysight where he spells things. It's just super cool because he basically presses down on the keys and it sounds like a garbled mess, but the visualization that is made on Keysight looks like a letter, and so he can spell things. And I was like, could I do a spelling thing? And it's like, well, I don't know. I'd have to like pull out either my deck of cards that has letters on it, or what I could do if people are interested, and I don't know if because it doesn't really match like the brand of my channel at the moment, but so I've picked up a little bit of American Sign Language, so I can finger spell basically any appropriate words, but I don't know if that would be something that people are interested in, or if it's like I finger spell your name and I teach you how to finger spell your name, if that's something people are interested in. I don't know, so let me know what you guys think of that idea, and if not, then I don't have to do it. But if it's something that might be interesting, I'll consider it. Well, I don't know any ASL, so that'd be cool. All right, got one data point. Awesome. Okay, so my apologies of setting this up, but I am going to refer. I have a secret spreadsheet. I mean, I guess it's not so secret. People know that I have this spreadsheet, but it's my magic spreadsheet, and I'm going to see how to set this up because I forgot how to set this up. Okay, so I think I do this. Boom, boom. Okay. Da, 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 da. I am in need of another card. Hopefully that did not give anything away. Okay. Here we are. All right. Sorry, was moisturizing and couldn't type. I think it sounds cool. All right, maybe I will attempt to consider, because I want to put in more like channel point redeems. I know that like it's kind of pricey because I don't stream that much, so getting channel points is tough. But if I make interesting channel point redeems, anyway, so I have two piles here, and one of them is a black packet, one of them is a red packet. So let me go ahead and show you that. Here, this one is the black packet. We're going to go ahead and place these out like so, like that. And now this one is a red packet. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that they're all red spot cards. Now what I'm going to do is just grab one of these cards. And I forget, I have to grab either the top or the bottom. I forget here. Okay, there we go. So look, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a black card here, and I'm going to go ahead and snap. Do I put the card out? I'm just going to go ahead and show you what I've got. You would expect there to be a black card in here now, but if I show you, they're actually still all red cards. I know, super strange, right? Now, once again, let me go ahead and grab this card. Place that there. You would expect to see a black card, right? But look, if I snap, they're actually all going to be red spot cards still. I know, super weird, right? Here's the interesting thing. I should be able to do this, I think, with two cards. So let me grab those here. And now you would expect to see that there is another, that first of all, there's another card, but and if I show you, they're actually all going to be red spot cards still. Now, you're probably wondering, where on earth are all of the black spot cards? You would think that they are here, right? But look, if I show you that these two cards actually are not black cards at all. This was an ace, and this was an ace. And this was an ace, and this was an ace. And actually, all of the cards that are here are actually all red spot cards still. And that, my friends, is a version of red packet, black packet. With a few, I'm double checking myself to make sure I didn't reveal any secrets of magic. So, whew. All right. Anyway, Charlie's Beats. That was a good request because I was not fully confident on that one. So this is part of the other reason why I was like, if I have a song list that tells me which ones I haven't performed in a while, I know I need to practice those. So I actually think I will be adding this red packet, black packet to my boss tricks for follow-up streams. So next stream, if anybody requests this, it'll be a boss trick, which if anybody doesn't know, if I don't perform a trick to my satisfaction, it becomes a boss trick for a future stream. So, and I will clear the boss trick once I perform it to my satisfaction. I don't have to necessarily mess up. Like, I wouldn't even say I messed up on this last trick, but I was like a little hesitant, and I'm like, that was not the best performance I could have given. So there we are. So red packet, black packet. I just got to note that. Anyway, thank you very much for that request. Whew. All right. Not gonna lie, that last one got me a little bit sweaty because I was nervous. Not because it was like extra warm or anything. Okay, let's see. Thank you for the claps. Gibson Lens, Tangy Cat, Jesse Nicole. All right, the trick queue is empty, so if anybody would like to request anything, feel free. At the moment, I'm going to take a swig of tea. So for anybody who is unaware, I am a software engineer in my normal day-to-day job. And I would say for a lot of people who have software jobs at the moment, it's the landscape is looking a little bit scary because there are a lot of tech companies that are laying off a huge swaths of their workforce. And so I'm currently feeling pretty fortunate at my job, which is pretty good. A couple of wins that I've recently had was that we had a hackathon at my company, and as part of the hackathon, it was basically, do your fun project and then make a 3-minute video. And there was a bunch of different categories that we can place first place in, but I didn't feel like my technical skills as a developer were used that much in the project, but I used my video editing skills, which I have because I have a lot of YouTube videos, so I got to use video editing in like my YouTube projects a lot often, and or at least I used to before I started doing sleight of hand magic. FYI, video editing a magic trick makes the magic trick probably a lot less impressive than if it's just one clean take. So, but before that, like when I did my board game tutorials and stuff on YouTube, I would have to video edit a lot. But I heavily used it. Importantly, my team got first place in one of the categories, and so that was a win. Tangy Cat, my company did a round of layoffs. Oh, my sympathies. I'm so sorry. And like, you didn't even specify if you were hit or not, but if you were hit, I'm very sorry. And if you weren't hit, I know how that feels, like being left behind, and it's like it feels bad still. Like, it's a bad hit for company and team morale and things like that. And so I wasn't. It's just, oof. Yeah, I know exactly how that feels, man. All right, Tangy Cat has requested 3 travelers. So let's get our 3 travelers, and then we can travel. Okay. All right, Tangy Cat. So for this trick, I've set aside and found the 3 of hearts, the 2 of hearts, and the ace of hearts. So what I would like to do is we're going to go ahead and place the 3 of hearts here. We're going to place the 2 of hearts here. And I'm going to put the ace of hearts here. Now, these travelers are traveling, and you don't necessarily know or understand how they're traveling until they come to the deck. So if I go ahead and I take the ace and place it on the bottom, they're traveling right now in an elevator. So if I go ahead and, similar to the devil's elevator, press the up button, say ding, the ace has traveled from the bottom all the way up to the top. I know, strange. Now if I go ahead and I take the 2 and I place it on the top, but I go ahead and press the down, ding, Hutch has got it. Hutch says ding, ding. That has actually made the 2 go from the top all the way down to the bottom. I know, interesting, right? Now here's where the 3rd traveler, this actually makes it traveler and not just an elevator. If I go ahead and I take the 3 and I place it here, what happens when you press both buttons at the same time? This is kind of future technology. This is like, Star Trek transporter. If I go ahead and I press both of these buttons, you'll see that the 3 is not here. It has actually transported over here. And that, my friends, is a story of 3 travelers. 2 elevators and 1 transporter. Oh my god, could that be a Christmas song? 3 travelers, 2 elevators, 1 transporter, and something, 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 something. I have to make up more lyrics for that, I guess. Let's see. Thank you for the claps, Jesse Nicole and Gibson Lens and checking the gaff meter and unfocused and IA. And thank you for the wow, Savinius, and thank you for the nice unfocused. Yeah. I have not thought about that, but there are Christmas themed tricks, but I should probably just come up with some Christmas themes for as many tricks as I can come up with, because it's gonna come down. Like, I got 2 months, so. We 3 cards of traveling are something something rubber cigars. Yeah, that's a good idea too. Thanks for getting the creativity flowing. That'll be good. That'll be good. All right, trick list is empty. If anybody would like to request anything, feel free. Otherwise, I can continue to talk about whatevs. Let's see. The last topic was tech company layoffs. My apologies, Tangy Cat. But yeah, but the good news is I had a hackathon. My team won 1 of the categories. That was great. Also, I recently gave a big presentation at work, not related to the hackathon, related to something else. So and that went over very well. So if anybody has ever been interested in e-commerce payments fraud, that was what my presentation was about. Let me know. I can send you resources. Gibson, thank you for the congrats. Thank you kindly. Yeah. So, funny story. Afterwards, after the hackathon, um, there was interest in the engineering department to learn video editing skills, and so I was like, I could give this talk if people want, but it's not like usually the type of talk that would occur for knowledge sharing. But I'm like, if people really want to learn this, I could give this talk. And so I might. I have a lot of vacation time that I have to take off, so I'm probably not going to be around too much on the talk days with the few slots that are left in November and December. So I may end up giving this talk probably in January. But if nobody else takes the topic first, I have already told people I could give it. So, a magician and payment frauds sounds sus. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so this was kind of like education on like the types of payment fraud and like how it affects our business and like how to prevent or mitigate it. But typically, when we talk about fraud from like the good side, it's like mitigation and prevention techniques or strategies and things like that. So, but yeah, if you're kind of trying to draw the thread, like it's about deception, like a lot of fraud. Okay, so one of the facts that you end up learning is that there's a lot of people who are considered fraudsters and cybercriminals. A lot of people think of them as like hackers or super crazy, like developers gone rogue and stuff. And a large majority of them are not like that. A large majority of them are just like liars, social engineers, and like exploiting people who are vulnerable, kind of thing. So that's one of the first things to dispel. A large majority of them are not like the crazy hackers that you see in the movie Hackers, which, by the way, if you've seen that movie, hack the planet. Checking the gaff meter says, isn't that the same? I mean, I would say no, but like I would not call the social engineer exploiters the same as the hackers, but I mean, they're doing cybercrime just differently, right? Yeah, Unfocused says, hack the planet. Oh, best '90s movie. It's great. It's a great movie. Don't get me wrong. There are a lot of movies that I like from the '90s. I'm not sure what would be the best, but empirically, a lot of the ones that I enjoy are empirically bad movies. So, um, yeah. All right. Let me throw one in there, and then also let me check. I don't know if I should be getting tired, if my body's clock says I should be getting tired or not, but Angelina Jolie was a hacker in that. She was in it, right? I'm pretty sure she was in it. Was she a hacker? I don't remember if she was a hacker or if she was like associated with one of the other hackers, but maybe? I don't. Yeah. It's been a long while since I've actually watched it, so let's see here. I just want to test something really quick with this one. Anyway, if anybody else has like awesome favorite '90s movies or movies from your childhood, I understand that the '90s kind of restricts like potentially a lot of people if you're too young or too old. But yeah, what are your favorite childhood movies? Not just restricted to the '90s, but if it happens to be the '90s, awesome. Yes, Angelina Jolie's character was a hacker. Okay, all right. She had the top tier laptop because her mom was top selling author. Oh yeah, what a wild film premise. Yes, okay, all right. Tangy Cat says, "I gotta sleep. Thanks for the magic." Well, you're welcome, Tangy Cat. Thank you for coming in and hanging out and interacting with stream and chatting and making requests. So hopefully you enjoyed. If you want to catch the rest of it, all the VODs will be up for a bit. And also, if you want more magic, tons on my YouTube channel. So there you are. But have a good night, Tangy Cat. see. I remember liking that movie. Wow, Angelina Jolie and pretty much nobody else I currently know by name. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of people that we end up never seeing again in Hackers. Okay, so this trick is illogical conclusion. So this, I will need people to pay attention if they just want to keep track of a count of number of cards. So first of all, I have 2 piles of 4 cards. I'm not going to show you any of the cards in this pile, but I will show you all of the cards in this pile. I have already messed this up. Reset. This is what we call mulligan. Take from the top. So mulligan. All right. Do over. Okay. Allow me to start over. Okay. Now I have to go big or go home. I mean, I guess I'm already home. So I have to go big. There's no choice. All right. Okay, this trick is called illogical conclusion. I have 2 packets of 4 cards apiece. I'm not going to show you any of the cards in this packet, but I will show you all of the cards in this packet. All right. Now, in order for this to be fair, these were all red spot cards. I just want you to keep track of how many red spot cards you end up seeing by the end of the trick. All right, Unfocused Night. Have a great night, Nalani. Thank you kindly for the raid. Thanks for sticking around for a few tricks as well. Sleep well. Have a glorious evening. What I'm going to do for these, I'm going to swap some cards from this pile with that pile. And hopefully, and I'll show you all the cards in this pile, and then we're going to do some more swaps. So the first one is I'm going to swap 1 card. I'm going to take this top card and swap it with this pile. So now I'm going to show you all the cards in this pile. Okay, so you saw what you saw. Great. Now I'm going to take 2 cards from this pile, and I'm going to swap it with 2 cards from this pile. And I'm going to once again show you all the cards in this pile. And then we're going to swap 3 cards from this pile for that one. Doing this as slowly and fairly as I can. Okay, and then finally, we are just going to make 1 more card swap. This one for this one. Okay, so important question. How many red spot cards did you see? Did you see 8? Did you just see 4 and 4 of something else? Did you see black spot card? Did you see face cards? Tell me what you guys saw. And I may have messed this up a little bit by doing the start over that I had messed up, but hopefully that doesn't cloud your judgment. But you also know that you're watching a magic show, so this is potentially a loaded question. Yeah, Terrell FM seems good. All right, thanks. I'm not sure if I saw you come in earlier, Terrell, so welcome in if you just came in. But if you haven't just come in, I'm sorry I missed it earlier. Let's see. Jesse Nicole says, I think I saw red cards, but I'm not even sure. Terrell's clapping. Thank you for the claps, Terrell. Thank you kindly. All right, cool. So let me just go ahead and show you that there are definitely at least 4 red spot cards. But I bet you didn't see any of these, because look, there's a Joker here, and a couple of other cards that aren't even normal cards. This one says 88-bit on it, and this one says 88-bit and has a controller on it. Isn't that weird? You guys never saw these, right? All right, and that is my handling and performance of illogical conclusion with some kickers right here. I definitely only saw red cards. Oh yeah, you never saw jokers? You never saw these guys? Yeah. Thank you for the claps, Gibson Lens. And thank you for the what, Jesse Nicole. Thank you for the claps. Yeah, Gibson lens. I don't know if you know these cards, the ones that. So I bought the stickers. There's a limited shelf life to this because I don't know if the stickers, if they get dry, or if the cards end up curling, or if they just rub too much against something. There's going to be some limit to how long I can use these. So we will see how it goes. Let's see here. Ken says, I was just thinking, wouldn't it be wild if he turned up some green cards or something? Oh, yeah. And then he turned up jokers and cards that say 88-bit on them? Yeah, yeah. Totally crazy. Good call. You had great intuition there, Ken. Hey, it's Brendan. Thank you for the wow. I was about to say what, but wow. I can't see. My old man eyes. I guess saying that I was in my childhood in the 90s has already dated me. Checking the gap meter. Thank you for the glorious Doritos. Yeah. Gibson Lens says, I didn't know. Yeah, so when you put like anything that's adhesive, because the adhesive probably like moisture content matters. Also, because these cards aren't smooth, there's air pockets. So like at some point, I think if like dust and things get underneath, the sticker might start peeling off, and I won't be able to do like slides with them. So it's like I gotta gotta use it while it's still good. Ha ha ha, Ken. Yes, yes, excellent. All right. Um, okay, I'm gonna say last call. If anybody would like to see any more magic, feel free. You're so young, crazy Asian, dating yourself. Ha. I'd like to think so. So if anybody is familiar with a stereotype of people who are Asian, some of my friends used to say and make fun of me and say, Nam, you're gonna look basically like a young, like I do now, basically for 50 straight years, and then literally overnight, when I turn like 80, I'm just going to be completely gray and wrinkled. So I'm just going to go from looking like this overnight when I turn 80 to be gray and wrinkled. Like that's that's what my friends and I used to say. Whoa, welcome in Panda Volta. Thank you for the resub. Hello, how's it going? Savinia says, that is so accurate though. Jesse Nicole says, ha ha ha. Yeah, Panda. First of all, I was saying last call, so you just made it just in time. Feel free to request something. I would like to do a trick for you, especially for the resub. So thank you. Let's see. From my thriller dance math, you're still young. I guess so. I'm still young. Panda Volta, I don't know if you had just made it here like a few seconds, not a few seconds, but probably like 3 minutes earlier, you would have seen a trick reveal that maybe I don't want to reveal it now, but you would have appreciated. I think Gibson Lens can tell you would have appreciated it. But let's see. Oh dang! I just finished hosting movie night. Oh yeah, that's right. You were in Dan's Music is Code movie night. Actually, if anybody who is here does not know Music is Code or has not followed Dan, if we can get Music is Code a shout out. Plays piano and an electric wind instrument in his mouth, and is super mellow, chill music, and it's pretty awesome. So if you are unaware, follow Music is Code. But anyway, Panda, thank you for yeah, catch the VOD, and if not, I was actually thinking I will clip it or highlight it probably because I think Rob would appreciate it. I know that, so because you're a mod for Rob, I'm like, you guys would appreciate it. Okay, so we have a trick requested by checking the gaff meter, and then so I'll do that. If nothing else is in the queue after that, I'll do my closer, which would be appropriate for me to close the way with the Max Maven trick that I said I usually close with, because that'll work out really nice. Okay. All right, so here we are. We have a trick called the bluff ace assembly. So I'm going to go ahead and show you. We have the 4 aces. Let me introduce them to you. This one is the ace of diamonds, signed by our friend Unfocused Nye. This one's the ace of clubs, signed by Gibson Lens. This one is the ace of hearts, signed by Avo, the crafty art hole. And then this one is the ace of spades, signed by Chaim CJ. So if you are unaware of what a ace assembly is, we're going to be trying to get all of the aces to be in one place. And I've already messed this up. Man, I am striking out today. Mulligan. Wait, I even spelled mulligan wrong. Hold on. All right. There we go. Now we're going to reset. Mulligan on mulligan on mulligan. All right. Yeah, mulligan on that mulligan, right? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Here we are. All right. Once again, I'll forgo the introductions this time, but here we go. Ace of diamonds, ace of clubs, ace of hearts, ace of spades. So if you're unaware of what a ace assembly is, we're going to try and make all the aces gather in one place. And how we're going to do that, first we're going to go ahead and place all the aces out here like this. And then we're going to be placing 3 cards on each one of these piles. So, like so. Okay, now I'm just going to square these up. And what we are going to do is pull out the magic horns. Magic horns! Right here, look at that. Now look, if I touch these 2 piles with the magic horns, that ace is going to travel up the pinky, down the index finger, into this pile. I know, hard to believe, but look, if I show you, there's actually no aces here now. But if I show you in this pile, we knew that the ace of spades was here. But look, the ace of diamonds has now hopped down to this pile. Now if I go ahead and use the horns again on the middle pile and this pile, if I show you this pile, look, there's no aces here. But now if I show you, you knew the ace of spades was here, you knew that was there. Look, ace of clubs is now down here. And now we have one final pile. Let me go ahead and pull the horns back out and touch. Something goes up the pinky and down the index finger. Because look, now if I show you, we have the ace of hearts, the ace of clubs, the ace of diamonds, and of course the ace of spades. Now you may think that I was doing some sleight of hand. Well, of course, Magic Stream, I like sleight of hand magic, but look, I'm going to do something hopefully a little bit more impressive. If I go ahead and I take the ace of spades and I stick it into this pile here, like so. Now if you were here, I would ask you to place your hand on top of that pile to make sure I don't get to it. I'm going to go ahead and place my computer mouse on top. And what I'm going to do is, now that I have these 3 aces here in my hand, now the ace of spades was great at drawing each individual ace, but that's because the ace of spades is more powerful. But look, now that I have 3, they're like magnets, right? So these 3 should hopefully be powerful enough to pull the ace of spades through your hand, i.e. my mouse. So here we go. 1, 2. Did you guys see that? Did you see anything weird? Because look, if I spread these cards out now, we have the ace of hearts, the ace of clubs, the ace of diamonds, and the ace of spades here now. And if I show you, there's actually no aces in this pile. Isn't that weird? Way more staggering when you're here and your hand's on it. That, my friends, is the classic ace assembly. Thank you kindly for the emotes, Panda Volta, and thank you for the claps, Jesse Nicole, and the OMG Savinius, and thank you kindly for the Doritos, checking the gaff meter, and the applause, Gibson Lens. Thank you kindly. And Thank you for the claps, Ken and Panda. Thank you very much. All right. So, okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and add the final trick, and then I'll close out the list. Okay. All right. So, Panda Volta, you have requested back illusion. I don't know if it's completely an original trick, but it's basically as original as I feel like I can, put my name on it and say, yeah, I basically came up with this. It's kind of hard to know. Sometimes actually attributing card magic is very difficult. Okay. All right. And I have not performed this very often because I just added it to my trick list, I think, maybe 2 streams ago? 3 streams ago? I don't remember. But, okay. Here we are. I have a pile of the aces. Now, these aces are different from any of the decks that I was using because they're not signed and they're gigantic, just so that it is more clear and you're able to see it. So, we have the 4 aces. We have the ace of diamonds, we have the ace of clubs, we have the ace of hearts, and of course we have the ace of spades. Now, if I was to ask you what the faces are, I think you would be able to 100% tell me what the faces are. But the question is, would you be able to tell me what the backs are? And if you were paying attention, you might have been able to glance a peek at the back, and you might have thought that they were blue, right? But actually, if I show you that perhaps what you saw was an illusion, because look, if I go ahead and I just slide this a little bit around and I slowly pull, you'll be able to see that there's maybe a different color back, and that maybe it is not blue. I know, super strange, right? But look, if I go ahead and I show you all of the card backs, they're actually all red. I know, super strange, right? Or are they? That's the big question, because look, if I were to offer you inspection of all of these cards right now, would you believe that they are blue or red? Or are they 2 and 2? Or 1 and 3? Or what? Any guesses? Anybody have any guesses? Panda Volta, do you have a guess as to what color the backs of these are? I trust nothing about my eyes when Nam is involved. Thank you kindly for the compliments. Your suspicion is warranted because, as I named this trick back illusion, it was indeed that the back was an illusion, because if you take a look, if I turn these cards over, and if you were here you could fully inspect these cards, there actually is no back to any of these cards. The back really was an illusion. Jesse Nicole says, good call, Panda Volta. There is no back. Ken says, whoa. And Jesse Nicole says, what? I was kidding. And I would then say, Jesse Nicole, you got it. And Panda Volta says, what? And thank you kindly for the claps. Jesse Nicole, Panda Volta. And thank you for the whoa, Ken. I mean, it's in the name of the trick. Back illusion. The back is an illusion, right? Jason Nicole says, that was great. Oh, thank you kindly. Okay, I was about to type in. I was about to type in clap because it's so habitual for me. Oh my God, Ken! Thank you kindly for the 200 bits. Oh my God, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you kindly. Panda says hype. All right. Okay, we've come down to our finale. Now, I've done this trick as a finale a few times, but it did not feel as heavy as it does today. Now, for anybody who was not here in the stream earlier, the Magic community has suffered a great loss in the past week, and it was because we lost a great magician named Max Maven. So, for anybody who doesn't know, Max Maven was a magician born Phil Goldstein, officially changed his name to Max Maven to match his stage name later in his life. And he was a magician mentalist. You might have seen him on TV shows back in the 80s and 90s. But he was basically hugely involved in the magic community. He contributed a lot of tricks. I showed one earlier called Overture, and now I'll be performing another one. This one is arguably my favorite trick of Max Maven's, called Picasso Aces. And I think it's because the effect is so strong and the trick is so fun to perform for me. So I really enjoy this. But before I start this trick, let me go ahead and just thank everybody. So Ken, thanks for the 200 bits. Panda Volta, thanks for the resub. Anybody who followed today, thanks for following. Unfocused Nia, thank you for the resub and for rating. So greatly appreciate it. And also, let's thank my mod, Gibson Lens. So I said that as it sounded like Gibson Lens, but Gibson Lens, and I know that people make that mistake sometimes. So let me go ahead and give an official shout out for Gibson Lens. But Gibson Lens is a piano streamer, plays a lot of piano esoteric music and originals and VGM. Savinius, thank you kindly for the 100 bits. And thank you, Savinius, both for the bits and also thank you for being here. Everybody, thank you for being here. Thank you for interacting with the stream. As I always say, if I'm not really performing to anybody, I would just be fiddling with cards. I perform the magic because the magic happens in your mind. I know how the trick's done. So but thank you very much for anybody who lurked. Thank you very much for anybody who interacted with the stream. I love the interaction. So people who clicked on heat map, gave me numbers, made decisions, requested tricks. So thank you very much for all of those. But yeah, I greatly appreciate it. So, all right, let's get to the finale. So yes, rest in peace, Max Maven. This is my favorite trick by him. And if you haven't seen it, great, you're going to get a chance to see it right now. And if you have seen it, hopefully you appreciate it because it's a little bit more technical than some of the other tricks that I do. But like now knowing it's like, well, the person who created this trick won't be creating any other tricks because they have passed away. And it was a sad passing. Like if anybody, I wouldn't expect anybody to have known, but he was battling with like a lot of medical issues and cancer and things. So. Alright, here we go. First things first. I'm going to show you that this deck is a blue-backed deck. The important thing is you need to know there's a blue-backed deck because I'm going to pull these aces, and these aces are actually red-backed. So here's the ace of hearts, it's red-backed. Ace of clubs, red-backed. Ace of diamonds, red-backed. And ace of spades, red-backed. Now, the thing with these four aces, what we're going to do is, as mentioned earlier with the ace assembly, we're going to try and get all the aces together. But you know what the faces look like because you know that they're four aces. But also now it's going to be a little bit different because the backs are red. And so it'll hopefully be a little bit more interesting this time. So look, if I go ahead, I'm just going to go ahead and place, this is the ace of spades, right? That one needs to be the ace of spades. Okay, cool. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and place 3 cards on each one of these piles. So, here we go. It is very similar to the other one. So it's actually fortuitous that you guys were able to see the other one recently, because now you can compare and contrast notes and be like, hey, which one is stylistically different from the other ones or whatever. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close all of these up, like so. Now, first things first, we're going to start with this pile. Now you can see that the ace is there, but all it takes is I'm going to go ahead and do a snap. Some people think that the snap is just for effect, but it actually causes, and as the running thread of this entire stream, a Star Trek teleportation has just occurred. You can't hear the sound effects because I'm not having it go through OBS. But look, if I show you 1, 2, 3, 4 cards, they're actually all blue backed now. And if I show you the faces, none of them are aces. Man, that rhymes. That's great. I should keep that. But look, if I go up to this pile now, before we only had 1 red ace backed, but now we should see 2, right? Because look, there's 2 red and 2 blue now. Isn't that weird? That's super strange, right? Here, once again, we're going to go ahead and do that a second time. Look, there was a red ace there, but look, if I snap, triggers the transporter, and that has the transportation has occurred because look, if I show you once again, there's actually 4 blue backed cards, and none of these are aces. I know, super weird, right? But look, if I show you this pile now, before it was 2 and 2, but now there's 3 red backed aces and some other random blue card, right? And some people think, oh man, maybe there was some trickery going on. I mean, first of all, it's a magic stream, but some people thought that perhaps there was something weird going on with the red cards, and maybe they're not aces. But no, look, see, this is the ace of diamonds. So what I can do here is, let me go ahead and show you. You can see that there's a red back card here, and that red back card is indeed the ace of diamonds, right? But all I need to do is initiate transport. And if I show you that there's no red backed cards here now, and if I show you the faces, there's actually no aces here now. I know, super weird, right? And if we go up to this pile, as I said, transporter has occurred. If I show you, all of these cards are red backed cards, and they are all ace of diamonds, ace of spades, ace of clubs, ace of hearts. And that, my friends, is Max Maven's Picasso Aces. I hope you enjoyed that. And this is one of the legacies that Max Maven is leaving behind, for me especially, because this is my favorite trick by him. All right. Thank you for the claps, Jesse, Nicole, Panda Volta, and emotes. Jesse says, trickery in a magic stream? How very dare. Yeah, Panda Volta says, will they be aces? I mean, you've seen it now, so yes. They are aces! They are aces. Thank you for the claps. Jesse, Nicole, Ken, Panda Volta, Gibson Lens, Hutch MD. Thank you very much. Thank you kindly. All right, everybody. Thank you for the popcorn and Doritos checking the gaff meter. Delicious. Oh yeah, if anybody didn't know, happy National Nachos Day. So if you were hungry after time traveling, i.e. anybody in the United States knows why we just time traveled, have some nachos. Doritos. Yeah. All right. And Savinius, thank you for the claps. Savinius says, too stunned for words. You're great. Well, thank you kindly. Hopefully I entertained. Hopefully you enjoyed. And hopefully you'll consider coming back. So anyway, if anybody wants to come back, I don't have a formalized schedule, but I did mention it earlier that I try and stream on Sunday nights. And my starting time varies because it depends on when I put the baby down. But yeah, honestly, just following me is probably the best way. And then if you want to watch more content, I have a YouTube channel with a lot of magic on it. So feel free to check that out if you want more magic. Otherwise, let's try and find a raid target. A lot of my friends on Twitch are musicians, so I tend to raid out to musicians. There are not that many magicians, so let's see. Let's see. Last week I rated the keyboard grinder. Okay, I've got a couple that I want to rate out to. Oh wait, I don't know if I've ever rated Hazy.
Thank you.
Doing
We're gonna sing the
music?
scientist to write.
Okay, and she's how long has she been on? 4 hours. Oh my god, everybody has been on for a long time. Jeez. All right, let's see. Yeah, happy National Nachos Day. Thanks for the stream. Glorious tricks as always. Well, thank you for being here, everybody. All right, I'm going to try and raid Hazy. So I have a raid call. I don't have a sub raid yet, so we got this one. And then let me raid. Okay. All right. I think I've started the raid. All right. Okay. So anyway, thank you very much for being here, everybody. I greatly appreciate it. You guys make this fun. Originally, I started streaming because I wanted to learn like streaming tech, and I wanted to just keep my skills up for learning magic. And currently, it is working. I found out that I need to practice some tricks, but you guys make it so fun. And like honestly, yeah, magic happens in your mind. So if there's nobody to observe it, like it's like if a tree falls in the forest and nobody's around to hear it, that kind of thing. We can have that philosophical discussion another time. But um, thank you very much for being here, and everybody have a glorious day. Thank you very much.
To like two incredible artists here.